this Kansas City. Shit's ran gritty. In the summertime, the chicks be damn pretty. Born in the projects, then to the Ville.
Hey you guys, it's me, Bossy. Feels like I haven't recorded a video in a long while, but I kind of sort of haven't. I actually been putting up videos that should have been put up, but I hope y'all can understand. I needed some time. I needed to take it wasn't even a break, but I needed some time. You know, I had stuff going on in my family and everything like that. And welcome to everyone that has recently joined my channel. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the fam bam. Welcome to the Bossy gang, the Bossy crew, whatever it is y'all want to call y'all selves. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today I decided to start off with a story time video, my most popular videos, because I know a lot of y'all ain't been watching my other stuff, but it's cool. I still love y'all. But yes, I'm going to do a story time video today, and today's story time is a story time that a lot of you guys wanted to hear when I mentioned it on my vlog channel, Bossy's Life. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. But this story time is gonna be two story times in one. It still involves the same individuals, but it's gonna be a 2-for-1, because if I just did one of the stories, it would kind of be short. And my plan, you guys, is to try to upload at least 3 story times this week. I'm not gonna promise, but I'm trying to. And I'm gonna also throw in another Bob story for you guys. But enough talking, because I know y'all tired of me talking. We just gonna get into these stories. This involves my middle child. For those of you who don't know, I have 5 children. I have 3 girls from a previous relationship, and I also have 2 boys from my current relationship. And so my middle daughter, which her name is NAIR, she just is something else. So I asked my daughter if it was okay for me to do this story, because, you know, I didn't want her to get all sensitive and everything like that. She was like, Mama, I don't care, you can do it. So the first story happened, like I said, about 2 years ago. And my daughters actually had what you call the what are they called? They were some twists I gave them. They were like short with, of course, hair added, but I think they were called, they're not mambo twists, they weren't Havana twists. But her and my youngest daughter actually had this hairstyle. I actually had did this hairstyle for them because we were going to take family pictures. I'll also insert the picture here of the family pictures that we took, and they were so cute. And like, they have natural hair and their hair is very kinky and coarse. So I was like, oh, this is going to be so cute. Of course, time goes on. The hairstyle doesn't look cute anymore. It looked kind of ragged after some months. So I specifically told my daughters I will take their hair down. Sometimes, of course, I would let them help me take their hair down. But I said, I'm going to take your hair down. So my youngest baby girl, you know, she was helping me while I was taking her hair down. We took her hair down, no problem. You know, I had to wash it and do whatever else. My middle child, Naya, I told her, because I was so tired that day, I told her, just wait, I will take yours down the following day, which would have been on a Sunday. And so, you know, later that night, everybody's getting ready to go to bed. A lot of times, y'all, I fall asleep, maybe all the time actually, you know, not so much now, but I fall asleep before my kids do. They'll be, you know, in their beds or whatever, or in their rooms, but I could still hear them talking at the same time. They haven't dozed off. So this particular night, and it was on a weekend, I go in my room, and of course I'm probably watching TV, and I fall asleep. So the next morning I wake up, and my middle daughter Anaya walks in my room with a headscarf on her head, and I actually see some of the twists, you know, hanging down from underneath the headscarf. Like, you know, if you just have it on like this, you can see, you know, the hair underneath. But it doesn't look as full as it did, and I'm just looking like, what's wrong with you? And she was like, Mama. And I was like, what, Naya? She was like, I gotta tell you something. I'm like, okay, why are you whispering? She was like, I I gotta tell you something. I was like, okay, Anaya, tell me, what is it? She was like, well, I was ready for my twist to come down. So me and Akila started taking down my twist. And we was taking a lot down, and we was taking them down with scissors. So I'm like, okay, get to the point. She was like, well, Keela got tired of taking them down with her hands, so she started taking the braids in her hand and just cutting it all the way at the top to where my scalp is. I said, wait a minute, hold on, slow back it up. What? She was like, Mama, Keela just started cutting the braids all off at the top of my head and some in the middle of my head instead of untwisting them. And it's just a bunch of braids in my hairs and the inside of them. When I tell y'all, I said, what? When I tell y'all the feeling that I had at that moment, when I took my hand and pulled the scarf off of her head and saw patch, 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 twist, 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 patch, patch, twist, twist, patch, I was so upset. And this was majority, like from here, 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 some in the middle. The back is mainly what had twists, and a few twists left in like little sparse areas. The ages I think that they were when this happened was, I think Naya was 9. Oh, no, she wasn't 9. Naya was 8, and Keela, my baby girl, she was 7, because they're a year apart. So, yeah. So I said, you sat there and let your little sister take scissors to your head. She was like, Mama, she was doing it like you used to do. Like she instead of cutting the ends where you would cut, she just wanted to cut at the top so it would slide off easier. I said, Naya, do you not realize that she cut all your hair off? She start crying. I start crying. I'm yelling at my baby girl because I'm like, why? Who told y'all to get scissors? I put scissors up. I put stuff up they're not supposed to have. Obviously, they be sneaking, looking, finding stuff that I think that I'm hiding awfully well, but obviously I'm not. So they did all of this in the middle of the night while I was asleep. And Anaya's silly behind sat there and allowed her sister to cut off all of her twist in her head. So I'm just panicking because, like, I don't know what to do. At the same time, I'm just taking the rest of the twist out and thinking, well, maybe it's not gonna be that bad. It was bad. My daughter had a lot of hair on her head. It wasn't super duper long, but she had a lot of hair. And of course they're natural, so it was mainly in an afro, especially after taking out braids. So I'm like, oh my God, this looks horrible. It looks so bad. And I didn't want to say this stuff in front of her, but I didn't know what to do. I was so upset, so frustrated, because the next day my daughter has school. My only thing I was thinking about at that moment is these kids are going to tease my daughter. My daughter has to get on the bus with patches all in her head. You can see some of her scalp. You can see little sprouts of hair like this. It was so much that my daughter cut off of her. And the fact that she sat there and let her do it made me even more upset with her. I'm calling Terrence. He comes home from work, and the first thing he does is almost laughed. And I'm like, you better not. You better not. Because he saw I was upset. He saw she was upset. Terrence, being the loving boyfriend that he is, he told me, Basima, if you can find somebody to braid her hair, I will take her to go get her hair braided tomorrow. Oh, yes, she's going to have to miss school, but I will take her, because I'd rather her, you know, go get her hair braided or something else done to it than, you know, her going to school looking like this and we knew it was gonna be a bad day. And she already had a temper and already had issues with school and behavior, and I already knew it was gonna be something going down. So I finally called an African shop in Kansas City. They said they would do it. I told them her hair is very, very short in the front and the sides and some in the middle. Will you be able to grab it? And they were like, yes, we should be able to. I'm guessing they don't realize how short I'm talking. And so, you know, the next day I go to work. The rest of the kids go to school. My sons go to daycare. And Terrence keeps Naya and he takes her to the braiding shop. I'm at work maybe about 30-40 minutes, and he calls me like, babe, they said they don't know if they can braid it. They don't know if they can braid it. They said it's too short. So I'm like, there's nothing they can do, like nothing. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna see, I'll call you back. So I want to say maybe 10 minutes later, he calls me back. He said they're gonna braid it, but they don't know if it's gonna last, but they're going to braid it. So I get off work, I go straight home. My baby's hair looked beautiful, but it was extremely tight. They had like she had cornrows, like kiss braids, and they were sewn together with weaving, like hair thread that you use for like sew-ins and stuff. They were sewn together so you couldn't see any like spaces or anything like that. Basically, they looked like they just were able to catch the hair in certain areas of her head, and they continued to braid, and then they just sewed the hair basically on top of her afro and what was some left of her hair. I could tell she felt better about herself. She was happy, but at the same time my daughter was in pain. By the next day I was seeing bumps. I was like, she was like, mama, please don't take it down, please, 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 please. Then I was examining her hair before she went to school. The hair was moving. I don't know if they didn't sew it down enough. It was moving. It wasn't down. Like you could put your hand right through where all the braids were. They were stuck together, but you could like put your hand right underneath and like lift the braid. So I'm just like, you know what? Let this child go to school. She wants them in. So she rocked them for about 3 more days until they was like to where you could move the whole thing of braids like this, because it wasn't working. So we end up taking it down. I put a bunch of like moisturizer and curler products in her hair, and you know, she just had to wear a bunch of pretty headbands and her little itty bitty afro. So yeah, that was the first incident with her head. The second incident actually happened I moved here in February. This probably happened in May. So anyway, of course, I'm in my bed again because everything just has to happen at nighttime. Everything happens at night. And I'm in my bed again. And this time I was asleep maybe 2 or so hours. This happened in the summertime. So in the summertime, I let my kids stay up, watch TV in their rooms or whatever. But you know, basically you still have to be in your room, lights off, and you can watch TV until y'all fall asleep. So this particular night, I'm in my bed, I'm sleeping, and all of a sudden, my oldest daughter runs in the room and she wakes me up and she's like, Mama, something's wrong with Anaya's head. Something's wrong with Anaya's head. Mind y'all, her hair had grown back so much. So I'm gonna just go back just a little bit here. I want to say a couple weeks before this happened, I had went to the hair store and bought a kitty perm because I was trying to see if I wanted to put a relaxer in my head, because at one point I was just like, I'm over having natural hair. I was going to put a kitty perm in my head. I didn't put the perm in my head, so that's that. But I still had a brand new just for me perm. No, was it olive oil? No, it wasn't just for me. It was olive oil kids relaxer, still at the top of my closet, closed. So I'm like, what? They scare me. I'm dead asleep, and she runs in there, turns the light on, like, Mama, Mama, something's wrong with Anaya. And I'm like, Anaya, come here. She walks in my room and she has, of course, a scarf on her head. And she's crying. It's like, my head is burning. My head is burning. My head is burning. And I'm like, Anaya, what's wrong? And then when she walked in, I smelled a strong chemical smell, like super strong. And I'm like, Anaya, my first thought was, did you go in that relaxer? What is that smell? She was like, I didn't do nothing. I just woke up. She's a very bad liar. She was like, I was just in my room watching TV and my head started burning so bad. It was burning so bad. And then, like, I don't know, it just hurt so bad. I said, Naya, take the scarf off now. And she was like, okay. When my daughter took her scarf off, y'all, my chest went down into my stomach. I felt sick. I got super duper hot. I was pissed beyond pissed. My daughter had a huge circular, clean, smooth spot like this part of your arm. Dab right here from here, because she still had hair here. From here about to here, down to here. Also on this side from here on down to here. Some hair was still there, but when I touched it, it was just coming off. And so I said, Anaya, what did you put in your hair? Nothing, Mama, nothing. I said, Anaya, ain't no goddamn way you didn't put nothing in your head. You have 2 clean bald spots in your head. She was like, Mama, I didn't do nothing. I said, I'm smelling your hair. It smells like chemicals. What did you put in your head? So the first thing I do, because I'm tired of arguing back and forth with my child because she's lying, because she's scared to tell me what she put in her head. So then I go into the bathroom and I'm looking and looking for the relaxer, forgetting where I put it. Then I find it. The box is sealed shut. It hasn't been opened. Nothing. It has not been tampered with. So then I'm thinking, what else is in my house that she could have put in her head that would have just wiped her hair straight off? And I'm like, what is it? Next thing you know, I'm just looking at all my stuff. Then my eyes went to my NAIR. This bottle of NAIR, I had not even opened yet. You know, I can have a bottle for a while, but the last bottle I had, I ran out. So I had bought this bottle for me to shave with. And of course, I showed it in my video. So I'm like, the NAIR bottle was moved from where I remember having it. And then I saw, like, mind you, I hadn't used it yet. And I saw, like, some of the NAIR product, like, spilt all messy looking around the top. So I grabbed it in the exact same smell, which it didn't click. Like, that's what NAIR smells like. Also, the exact same smell that I smelled in my daughter's hair was the exact same smell of the NAIR. And the NAIR had been opened and had been used. I said, you put this in your hair, Anaya? So I went back in my room. I said, Anaya, you put this in your hair? Did you put this in your hair? Y'all know how mamas are when we got to check our kids and talk to our kids. Well, this is how I talk to mine. I said, did you put this in your hair? And you bet not lie to me. Do you hear me? And she said, yes. I said, Anaya, do you not see what this is? It had a pair of legs on it. It said clearly, NAIR hair lotion remover. And my daughter can read. She's not stupid at all. But because she's so mischievous and she goes in stuff all of the time that she's not supposed to go in, and maybe she was just trying to find something. Yes, it might have been next to my hair products, but it was high up. And they know better to go in the restroom going and stuff unless it's soap or toothpaste or getting like a washcloth or a towel so they can get ready to take a bath. The fact that you went and reached behind stuff, because I had it pushed behind stuff at the very back. I have a very large linen closet and I had it pushed all the way back on that shelf. You were searching. You were searching for something, and I don't know what it is you were searching for, but you found something that you shouldn't have found. And so I'm guessing she must have squeezed it in her hands, went like this, and must have done this to put it through. Thank God she didn't go like this. Oh my goodness. But went like this, because that's exactly where all the hair was gone. I mean, it was clean like the back of your arms. My child was just having the worst luck with her hair. And let me tell y'all something. I must have took her in that restroom and was washing her hair a good 10-20 times just to make sure all of that nair was out. And when it was done, I just looked at her like, Anaya. And she's just crying. And she's 10 years old by this time, y'all. And she's just crying and crying and crying. And I'm like, baby, why would you do that? You could have hurt yourself. That stuff could seep in your brain. You don't know what can happen. And then I'm scared because I don't want my child going to sleep because she put nair in her head. That is close to that is where your brain is. That is where, I don't know what happened. Because I said, Anaya, did you not read this? Did you not see? I just picked it up. I just thought it was here. You didn't read. And y'all, my child, I love her to death, but she does some stuff that just ain't right. So I'm like, why would you do that? Why? I said, thank God it's summer vacation and you don't have to go back to school until August, because now you just got your hair to grow back. You going and stuff and not listening and not being obedient and not going in the restroom late at night messing with stuff. I should be able to go to sleep with no issues. Like, all the other kids are in their room doing what they're supposed to, but you walk out of the room and you are the second oldest child in the house, and you go and put some nair in your hair. So of course I had to call Bob and tell him the next day, of course, and you know, he's just like, let me talk to her. Why would you do that? What's wrong with that? And she tells him a whole different story. Like, well, it was an accident and I didn't know this and I didn't put no nair in my hair. Like, that was almost time for a butt whooping. I got into her good. Because you're not gonna sit here and lie to your daddy and make me look like what I'm saying is over exaggerated or this and that. You went in my nair, you went in the restroom, going and stuff, snooping. What was you looking for? What were you looking for? And you put nair in your hair. You could have hurt yourself. You could have left it out somewhere for your baby brothers to find it. You don't do stuff like that. So I was highly upset. So yeah, by the time school started, you guys, which was in August, I actually put, because you know the hair was starting to grow back, which I was so thankful, because I was worried that with it being nair and a chemical, it might have burnt her, you know, hair follicles, because it was so smooth and slick. It felt so baby soft. It was no hair. Like when the first time her braids got cut off, she had fuzz. This was like clean slick. It's growing back, but it's still not long enough. I have fat fingers, so it's still not all the way long enough for me to actually catch it and braid it. And plus, I don't want to try to pull that tight to where I break my baby's hair off even more. And no, that stuff ain't cute. So that was the time that my daughter put nair in her hair. So my daughter has had braids cut off from the scalp due to her baby sister, and then she also had put nair in her hair due to her being very hard-headed and not listening when I say you have no business in the linen closet unless you are getting a towel or a washcloth. Other than that, you shouldn't be in there. So that was that story. You guys wanted to hear so much about the time my daughter put nair in her hair, but I decided to add the other story just to make the story time a little bit longer. The first one might not have been that exciting, but it was very traumatic and devastating for everyone involved. And yes, it pissed me off, and the second time pissed me off even more. But yes, her hair is growing back. For those of y'all that want to know, I watch my children very well. It's just at nighttime, that one tends to do stuff she ain't got no business doing. But yes, that was the story. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I just wanted to get those out of the way. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, welcome to all of my new subscribers. My name is Basima, but people call me Basi, and my channel is just Basim Beauty. And make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, loves.
Doing 80 and a 60, fuck a ticket. Cause I ain't had that pussy in a minute. I told her when I get it, I'ma hit it. She told me that she want it, I'll be there when I'm finished. Oh girl, I'm on the way.